So you said, Ralph, that there's a new strategy from PlayStation. I want to hear it. What is this strategy?
So you know how Xbox are like, you don't have to buy our next-gen console because all the games on next-gen will also run on last-gen, right?
Yeah.
So you know what Sony are doing? They're releasing the PlayStation 5 and they're making it so you actually have to buy it.
Well, I have to buy it? Whoa. But aren't they going to put games on there, like, over 18 months you can buy it on PS4 and PS5?
No. They've got this really crazy idea where they have all this incredible technology that they're using for next gen, and they're actually going to use that technology. It's really wild, it's very risky, but that's what they're doing.
Hang on a second. You're telling me that they're going to bring out a brand new console,
Yep.
and they're going to utilize all the power
Correct.
for that new console?
It's ridiculous.
It's revolutionary, actually.
It is.
I don't think we've ever seen another console do it.
No, Sony are just completely off their rocker here. It's doomed to fail. There's no way that people are going to go for next-gen graphics and next-gen load times and next-gen audio. People are going to demand that it's basically the same as last-gen. I'm calling it right now, man. This is the end of Sony right here.
I want to see God of War 2 look shit, okay?
Go back and play original God of War 2 then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's been happening in the world of next-gen consoles? Well, first of all, on Friday, we're going to have the PlayStation 5 games reveal.
Yep.
Good news is we're going to be streaming that live. The bad news
6
is
a.m.
it's at 6 a.m. Australian time. So we're going to be live from 5:30 a.m. to get the stream going for you guys, and we're going to be here watching it.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to take whatever we need to stay up. It's like,
right.
oh my God, it looks so good. Holy shit.
Just doing these ones off screen.
Yeah, those like,
Oh man, I'm ready here.
I don't know what we have to do. Or maybe we just won't sleep. Who knows?
Maybe.
Anyway, guys, it is going to be a very, very tired morning for us, but we are excited for it. And
Sure.
we are getting some more news now regarding new consoles. Now, we already know what Xbox has done in terms of what their attitude towards new games on the next gen. For 18 months, they are going to make all first-party studios have to make games for Xbox One and Xbox One X. Pretty pro-consumer.
Xbox One X, Xbox One,
Oh, sorry,
and
Xbox
Xbox Series X.
And Series, there's
the
so many
worst names, man. Just
so many names.
get rid of these names. They're so bad.
Should have been called the Xbox 720, man. Like, why
Should
not?
have been. No, but that's absolutely correct. Any game that is coming from a first-party Microsoft studio for the next 18 months or 18 months after the launch of the Xbox Series X
Yep.
will also need to be playable on the One X, okay? What this means in reality is that you are not tapping into the full power of next-gen consoles because games will need to be designed with those constraints in mind. It's not just a case of like, oh, the resolutions will be higher on one than the other and you just have lower resolutions and whatever, lower frame rates. It's not like that. Games are very much designed about how much information can be streamed off hard drives, especially when it comes to like open world games, etc. All of those limitations very much impact actual game design. So basically, next-gen Xbox games are going to be somewhat held back by last-gen Xbox.
And look, all things considered, that is a very pro-consumer move because there's going to be a lot of people that can't fork out $500 or whatever it's going to be.
Especially at the moment.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? You know, it is going to allow people to stay in the ecosystem and play those new games for at least 2 years and then slowly save up. At the same time, it's good for Xbox too because it means that they get incremental payments of like people buying $80 games here and there on the current gen. So it kind of works for them too.
Yeah, so this is all separate, of course, from discussions about backwards compatibility, where we know, for example, that Xbox and PlayStation are both going to be backwards compatible. We haven't heard all the details about PlayStation's backwards compatibility yet. Xbox has recently come out and said that their backwards compatibility will sometimes add HDR where there wasn't HDR before.
It's pretty cool.
It's gonna like increase resolution sometimes up to 4K, and it's also gonna sometimes double or quadruple frame rates up to 120 FPS, depending on how it all works. So they've gone large on backwards compatibility.
I think it's going to be good. That's all I have to say on that. Anyway, PS5.
Nice.
But PS5, it's not going to be so optional, everybody. It seems like they've come out with a statement saying, guys, new gen, new games, and you have to get it on the next platform. Which of course means that this is going to be, it's not going to, like, you know, stop the power of the new games, which is going to be actually pretty cool to see. If I want to see God of War 2, God of War 2, what's the next God of War even called? I don't even know. I don't want to feel like it's going to be, you know, constrained to PS4. It'd be great to see the full power of that on PS5. And this is the quote, actually, from Jim
Ryan.
Is it Ryan?
It's Ryan. Jim Ryan's the Sony Interactive Entertainment boss, by the way. He says this: "We have always said that we believe in generations. We believe that when you go to all the trouble of creating a next-gen console, that it should include features and benefits that the previous generation does not include, and that in our view, people should make games that can make the most of those features. We do believe in generations, and whether it's the DualSense controller, whether it's 3D audio, whether it's the multiple ways the SSD can be used, we are thinking that it is time to give the PlayStation community something new, something different that can really only be enjoyed on the PlayStation 5.
Look, I think there's a few things. Number one, it is the opposite train school of thought as the Xbox thing, right? And a lot of gamers are going to like to hear this because they're going to be like, I've spent $500, man. Make sure I get bang for buck. I don't want to be, held back by the other community that doesn't, that aren't able to upgrade yet. I understand both sides. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not really taking a stance on that. But I think also it means it's going to create immediate value for PlayStation 5. With the immediate value for Xbox Series 1X, Triple X, whatever it's goddamn called, it's not going to have the immediate necessary urgency to buy it.
We have always said that the Xbox Series X is the world's most optional console.
It is the most
and it's like, because you don't need to buy it, you can buy a PC instead, you can stick with your Xbox One X instead. And look, as I said, that's very pro-consumer. Good on Microsoft for focusing on the ecosystem and keeping people in that. But at the end of the day, a lot of people just want the best graphics that you can get. They want the best sound, they want the best everything. They don't care about all that other stuff. They're happy to spend the money and they want to get the return on investment. This strategy speaks to that. And look, I think both of them work. I wouldn't say either of them are the right way to go, because having something pro-consumer is great, having something really focused on power is great. Both of them are good, but it definitely is a line in the sand. And I really feel like it's pretty risky for Xbox to take that path, because the gap that started at the last generation is absolutely massive now. Like, PlayStation completely trounced, just curb stomped Xbox this generation. And if you have an 18-month window where Sony is able to release true next-gen games while Xbox is still constrained by last-gen stuff, that could blow out to a bigger and bigger difference over
Not
time.
necessarily. I think the long game for Xbox is a few things. Number one is to, of course, build a player base as big as possible and for as long as possible before they have to go to the next gen, because they want to also get people on for the streaming thing. So if I know that I have Xbox Series X right now and I can't upgrade for the next 18 months, and I'm Xbox and I want to groom that person to start going onto Game Pass, grooming. It's all I do, people.
That's right.
And get them onto cloud streaming and all this kind of stuff. It keeps them in my ecosystem, and I'm able to sell them new and more games.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I think
I was just going to say, it's just
all right. I'll let you finish, Sam.
And secondly, I think that Xbox has not as many likable and desirable IP at the moment, so they need to win the customer over for the next 18 months with these new Xbox studios and their new IP before they can really justify buy a console that only really has 2 games that people are going to be excited for: Gears games and Halo, right? Apart from that, maybe Forza. Apart from that, there's not really anything that Xbox will get people on board for the next gen compared to PlayStation. Has God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Bro. Minecraft Dungeons 2.
Oh, of course.
Come on, man.
Of course.
Sell it.
But you know what I'm saying?
Crackdown 4, whatever it is.
Yes, Terra Cruz back at it again.
So, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, sure, it makes sense. Streaming is certainly a part of the future of gaming, but it's just a question of when that all unfolds and becomes super mainstream and whatever else. Regardless, big hardware is big hardware. This is a business model that has worked for 40 years, where you have a console and then it's out for a few years and then you release a better one with better graphics and off it goes. This is what Sony are doing here. Makes sense. I mean, doesn't seem particularly risky. Pretty sure it'll work so long as they have good games behind it.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the first time we've ever seen a console come out in terms of Xbox and be like, you don't have to buy it yet. I know we've already made a meme about it.
Don't have to buy it yet.
It's going to be interesting territory, and I kind of hope it does work for Xbox, because we want them to have equal market share with PlayStation. So there's not a monopoly, and there is a quality push all the time on both consoles. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see, everyone. And we're going to learn a lot more on Friday.
Friday, guys.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. We'll leave a thing up in the channel so you can click on it and you can get reminded about when we go live. Come and join us. Don't hang out with Yong, man.
No way.
No, don't be with Yong straight. That's it. This is Layman versus Yong right here, okay? We're going to get the higher view count. Just because he has 5 or 6 times the amount of subs doesn't mean we can't beat him on Friday, okay? So we need your support. Be there and
Or be square.
yeah, well, be like the square or triangle or circle or cross.
Goodbye.
Bam.